Yo, what's good, everybody? Running it up, live viewers. Oh shit, I'm gonna drop the link. Yo, what up, Seth Rollins? You're the first guest, bro. It's gonna fill up, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna drop the link in the comment section. All right, boys. Yo, what's up? I'm back, man. Yo, Seth, let me know if you want to hop on board. We're just kicking it, freestyling, man. Yo, we got 6 guys. Let's fucking go. Sending me. What's good, bro? What's good? Yo, what's the LFN stand for? For a second there, Seth, I thought you said you pulled tonight. We need some stories, man. We need some stories. Ain't pulled shit, brother. I just met Seth tonight, and we were about to hit Twin Peaks, watch the game, but I had to come through for my loyal diehard fans. We were just kicking it at a kava bar. Put me on game. Yo, click the link. Hop on board. Come on up. Let's do it. What's Yapsville? Is that a joke? Never heard of it. Yo, what up, Jackson? What's good, bro? Yo, who's in your profile pic, man? Looks like Sleepy Hollow. What's good, Michael? Yeah, bro, 17K. I think it's up to 19K, man. Go check out that video. It's pretty funny. To be honest with you, man, street interviews are tough, dude. If you haven't done them before, it's kind of tricky with someone like the way I game, so it's really weird. It's a tough adjustment. Maybe not for someone who has like this very canned openers and things like that. It's probably easy. I could see how those be, very similar styles. Sweet, bro. What AA program? What AA program, man? Good looking loser? What approach anxiety program? Yeah. You and Chris. That's dope, man. I didn't even know you guys had access to that stuff. I guess you could find all the old articles on Reddit or something. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, keep it up, man. Keep that shit up. What part of the program are you on? This is interesting, man. I really'd have to see your game, bro. I don't know what you're doing that's so bad. I mean, all the years I've been doing this, I haven't really ran into. I mean, occasionally. I mean, yeah, I would do some stupid shit, but I was usually either pretty fucked up or something like that. It's rare that some stuff like that happen. I'd be fascinated to see your game, man. Like see it on audio or see what you're doing. If it's as aggressive as me, just because it's aggressive doesn't mean it's, socially calibrated. Guys just put one thing together and I'm going to start being aggressive like you, Scotty, and just start randomly touching girls and grabbing women, and that's not exactly how it works. Okay, so I'm assuming, yeah, you found all the old articles, man. That's good. Fifth week non-sexual compliments. That's dope, man. Yo, if anyone wants to join the stream, I dropped the link. Feel free to jump on. More challenging nighttime or daytime game? I would think daytime for sure. Usually the girl typically is like, especially street game. It's not so bad like in when they're stationary, like at a grocery store or a mall maybe. But if they're moving sets who are just walking solo, you have to really assert yourself and put yourself like in her line of sight basically, and the girl has to really commit and like you at that point. I don't know, it's definitely difficult. Um just from coaching guys alone, they have more, like, beginners usually have more success in nightclubs and bars actually. Just you're talking about straight up like getting numbers and getting validation and girls' attention, way easier, I think, at nighttime because it's socially accepted. It's way more socially accepted. They're prepared. Woman goes out at night prepared to get hit on and talked to by dudes. A complete beginner with like barely any experience could go out, and I've seen it before, and get numbers and stuff, but will get slaughtered during the daytime. Day sets, you have to be a little bit more astute and seasoned. What's good, Will? How are you, man? Never did it, man. I'm sure it would be good though. There's a few people I know who do it and they like it. Whatever your niche is, I'm big on niche maxing, man. Whatever your niche is, go immerse yourself in it. Reason being is because it just makes you less attached. I guess detached from the outcome. Because when you're out having a good time, enjoying yourself, you're not as focused and worried about the woman's response. When you go out just strictly looking for numbers and good sets, it's more like Sarge, irrespective of any of that stuff. It's usually you're giving off like frustration vibes and thirsty vibes, needy vibes, because it's all you're focused on, you know. Oh shit! I guess I did this wrong, bro.
What's up?
What's good, man? How are you? Usually people say, "Oh, I got to see you backstage." I don't even know how to do that. So I guess if there was any dick flashers or something, I would get kicked off. But
Hold on. The audio is kind of weird.
can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
What's good, man? How are you?
Pretty good. Um, I I'm a virgin, of course, but I am waiting until I'm waiting until I get my vasectomy to enter the dating market because I don't date to I don't plan on dating to marry. Um, but I just have a couple of questions. What's your thoughts on like trying to work like game with like girls who are more religious or conservative?
Oh, that was you in the comment section. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a good question, man. What's your thoughts on gaming girls who are more religious? I think it's kind of hard to tell. You have to like, unless you're going, I guess, to like church, but you get a lot of like girls putting on an act when they go to church. They're not really living and abiding by the scripture or anything like that. So, um, but for a guy like yourself, I guess I take it you're religious and you go to all sorts of things like that, retreats and.
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
not.
okay. So,
I'm
yeah,
just my type of girls are like college because I'm at ASU right now. I'm in like Arizona stuff.
okay.
So my types of girls are the girls who are a little more easier, more fun type. I don't like girls who are after something serious because I'm not looking for anything serious. Um,
So you're in college right now. You're just doing like hitting on girls at campus, or are you doing any cold approach?
yeah. So back in November of 2022, well, here's how it all started. So there was this kind of how I got into like the whole promiscuity mindset because I used to be like kind of like I don't know how I'd call a nice guy, but I used to
Yeah,
be the guy that would go after one girl at a time. So and when you focus on when you put all your attention on one girl and you don't even know she likes you, right? It can cause like a lot of stress
for sure.
because you don't know if like all right, does she like this guy? What does she think of me? Like she's on your mind all the time, and there was this one girl at the very beginning of my college who I tried to pursue for about a month. Um, Obviously, didn't go anywhere. She wasn't interested in stuff. But I realized, hey, I'm at ASU. There's also a whole world full of beautiful women. I want to learn the skill. If I see all these other guys who are having success with women, I know I can figure out the skill of how to get women too. So I started watching various pickup artists on YouTube, on how to talk to girls because I never knew that was like a thing that girls actually, kind of minded. I've always thought that it was kind of rude, but after seeing like some videos of people approaching women on public, I decided to give it a try.
Nice.
And in November of 2022, I approached 34 different girls on my college campus, and I had a lot of confidence, a lot of confidence. Um,
Where'd you
and then
get?
I some what's
Where'd you
up?
discover that confidence? Just from watching YouTube videos and pickup videos?
Just putting myself out there, you know.
Did it come
Um,
for you, or like after a few rejections, or a few W's, or a few numbers? What? How did you get that? Because I didn't have at the beginning. I definitely didn't have the confidence. You know.
um, so out of those 34 approaches, two Instagrams and one phone number.
Oh wow.
So, of course, I was still a rookie. A lot of girls, so they had boyfriends. I didn't really know advance. All I knew was just say, "Hey, I saw you over there. I thought you were cute," and stuff like that. Like, and then in December of 2022, I stumbled across a guy called John Anthony Lifestyle. I don't know if you've heard of that guy.
Yeah, yeah. So you worked. I mean, how'd it go?
Yeah, so I found John and I saw that he was like the real like one of the real deals like because of like the he had he had a very simple straightforward system. It was like everything was like pieced together for you. Like here is like how you run a date, how you keep girls around, how you make the conversation non-platonic and stuff like that. You know, how to make it so that she doesn't see you as just a friend, stuff like that. And I was I had like this plan to really get into it, and I ended up buying this course. But I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't have any like get any more approaches in until I got my vasectomy, get my HPV shot, and a couple other measures. This is so I can have sex condom free, as well as not having to worry about pregnancy or diseases and stuff like that. So right now I'm like doing a lot of stuff with like business and stuff. I'm doing real estate, day trading, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just kind of the backstory of where I am. Then I found a guy who I was also following, playing with fire, Alex, playing with fire, and then
Yeah.
I found you on his channel, and it was your game was really smooth, and that's one of the qualities that I love about your game, and so
Appreciate it.
that's why I'm kind of following you right now, because especially that one video you have where you meet that girl walking on the street, you're like Miami or something, and then you're like making out you're making out in 2 minutes and stuff, all that. So it's a skill that you can learn. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just like gathering. I have John's programs, like 2 major programs, but I'm like gathering like a bunch of you know like bunch of different information from different sources, and gonna come put it into like one big process,
You're
so I can streamline process, so I can get women easily. So yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. But aside from that,
how young are you, bro? You seem, I would guess, like 22, 23,
I'm 21.
21.
Do I look
So
old?
gotten the vasectomy yet, or
No, but I plan to once I plan to freeze my sperm first, because there may be this. I don't plan on having any children, but there may be the small chance that maybe 10, 20 years down the line, like I may change my mind. It's like putting a message in the bottle and throwing it in the back of the attic and forgetting about it. You forget it's there, but it's still there. You might, whenever you want to come back to it. So that's what I want to do. Right now, I'm working on becoming a profitable futures trader. And working towards getting my first few payouts. I actually closed a real estate deal back in fall of 2023. That was really nice. But I tried scaling and stuff. It, of course, didn't go well. But I'm working on. I do plan to get my vasectomy probably this year. Probably, hopefully, the summer or the fall. And I definitely want to be hitting the dating market pretty soon. Like after that.
I still think you should approach though. I wouldn't keep that. I don't know why you're sticking to you're not going to approach until you get that. I would absolutely have you approach personally, but
Yeah, because what happens, I mean, if you approach,
you get that, I would absolutely have
if
you.
you approach a girl,
Can't have you on that your background. Wait, hold on one second. Let me talk for a second. Oh, okay, it went away. Whatever that was, it sounded like.
Yeah, it was in the background. I had to mute it. My bad.
No, it's all good. Cool. Well, it's good, man. We're just
What's
chatting.
good, Scotty?
How are you?
Good, man. How's your night going?
Good so far, man. Just have a pretty
Yeah.
big. We got eight guys watching. Hopefully, we get this thing up to like 20, 30 people.
Yeah, my bad. I wasn't trying to interrupt his story. I just wanted to join,
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, go ahead, man. And I'm sorry, bro. Say your name one more time. Who's it?
Me?
No, the guy next to me.
Oh, yeah.
so,
What's his name? I missed your name, bro. Yo, finish your story if you want.
okay. What was I? Yeah. So basically, if you approach a girl and then you talk to her, she'll know who you are. So if you don't make any plans with her, then you kind of with her because she knows you are. Why didn't this guy make any plans For example, I was at a football game like a couple of years ago, like 2023, August 2023. It was the Sun Devils opening. There was one girl who made eye contact with me, and I made eye contact with her, and like I was like, all right, we both make eye contact with each other. I'm just gonna go in and talk to her, and so I did, and because we looked at each other, and if I in my mind if I didn't go in and talk to her, I would have been like, all right, would have been like, why didn't this guy come talk to me when he looked at me and stuff, when he, you know, because girls, I think, according to like the other coach, girls like they know when a guy is like into them and stuff, right? And so I just went and talked to her, and she said, we can. I asked her if we can like go on like a coffee or something, and she said, sure, but just as friends. So how would you deal with a girl that says, sure, but just as friends? Does that mean she's not interested?
Well, it kind of fits what you're looking for right now. You just want to like at least stay in warm situations with women in the meantime before you actually go ahead and get the vasectomy. You know what I mean? So if they, right, so it would be perfect for someone like you. Actually, you know, you do want to still, you know, keep your social skills sharp and just be in, you know, the vicinity of women, and just, you know, it as opposed to like isolating yourself from women. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You're not really making advances or anything like that. So you're just, you know, if a girl wants to go on a coffee date with you just as friends, that's cool. I would absolutely take her up on that, man.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't lead anywhere. I think she has like a boyfriend now.
Well, wait a second. You're not going for that. You're making that clear.
Right. Nothing serious or long term, but I mean, if sex isn't kind of the goal is to one of the goals is to fuck her because she's hot, you know.
Wait a second. Oh, okay. So I'm confused. I thought your thing was that you were going to hold off completely until you get the vasectomy.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
But
So I'm saying, like,
the only reason that I went in and talked to that girl was because she looked at me, and it was just kind of an impulse decision. Like I was just kind of pissed at myself that I went in and talked to her that night, but I don't. It was just one. That was just one time. The plan still sticks. I'll still talk to like people in class and stuff, but I'm not like trying to like sexually hit on girls until then. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, that's a pretty good start for a girl to be like, yeah, I'll go have coffee with you without, you know, keeping it platonic, you know.
Right. What are your thoughts
People
on?
are saying really bad right now. I'm gonna plug in my hold on, I'm plugging in my earpiece or whatever, because I don't know how. I mean, I don't know. How do I sound?
You sound fine, man.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me plug it in anyway.
Me or him?
I don't know. People are saying it's real choppy or something. So
Nah, they might be trolling.
they're trolling. Yo, so what's your second question? What do you got?
Are you talking to me or the other guy?
Go ahead, bro. What do you got?
Are you talking to me or the other guy?
I think he's talking to you.
Who's the one who said they have one more question? Someone said that. I don't know.
That wasn't me.
How many? What's your lay count, if you don't mind me asking?
Man, they do this. The lay count, dude. I stopped after a while, man. It's well up over 350, I would say, man, for sure. I stopped counting after a certain amount of time. I was totally disconnected from the game, so I don't know. Like, it wasn't.
Now I have another question.
Yeah.
So you're like, how old? You're 38, 40 something?
38.
You are? Okay. So do like 18, 19, 20-year-olds, are they like, have you ever been with one recently? Like or ever? Kind of, do they like older men?
Yeah, dude, they do. They go for older guys. Honestly, they don't discriminate, especially if you keep yourself in reasonably good physical shape and everything like that. And if you're, on top of your aging and all that stuff, yeah. There's some guys who look 28, but they look like they're in their 40s already. So depending on, what, how good of shape you keep yourself in, you should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, and me,
Let
like,
let me ask you a question. When does this lay count thing become such a huge factor? You know what I mean? Because they got
well,
a lot of guys, they get into it just for the reason to have options to begin with, so that you can ultimately do what you want with it. Like that should be the goal, to be like, all right, I want to get my skill level to the point where I have the capacity to choose who I want to be with. You know what I mean? And not
I'm
be.
not trying to like. I mean, because look, honestly, I could go out. I could like go out to Tempe right now, and I could go find a girl and fuck her tonight. Like I did. Like I honestly could. Doesn't
No,
mean
I'm saying
not or anything, but I'm not trying to.
I've been
like,
in the
spike
dating
my
industry.
life out.
Yeah, I know that I've been in the dating industry, I guess you could say, or been around it since like 2007, and I don't know. It just seems like it blew up out of nowhere. It wasn't even really part of the dialogue as much as it is now. It's like this like weird obsession that mad people have, and
I think it's a metric people use, like dating coaches use, just to see how qualified you are at teaching this stuff.
yeah, but that wouldn't even, to me, I would go based on what I see. I wouldn't look at two coaches and say this. Let me see your game, and then let me decide from there. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how I always judged on because I worked with like a few of these coaches, and I just go based on what I see. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like this guy right here says it's the worst metric. I kind of agree, man. It's like just having it doesn't mean you could coach. It doesn't what's the quality? It's like there's a lot of shit that's like determined. This guy JC, we're joined. All right, hold on a second.
What's your type, Scotty? What's your type?
I tend to go with either Spanish or Afro Spanish or black, or I tend to go with
What are your thoughts on Asian girls, like APGs, stuff like that?
Asian chicks. I mean, never been a huge fan, but they're not bad, dude. There's some really hot ass Asian women. You know what I mean? There's hot women in every ethnicity and race, but I definitely have. I don't know where preferences come from. I guess from previous experiences with certain women, and I don't know that's kind of how they're born. And then you got. So I've always had really good experiences with like Trinidadian girls, and they're super sweet, kind, feminine, sexual. I don't know. So that's where we build preferences. So I think as you become more sexually active, you'll start to build up preferences. Yo, hold on. Hold on. Let me put this guy on mute. I don't.
Answer the other guys. For that.
I think he had his background audio on.
All right. I think it was. I wish you guys had the names up here. I don't know who I'm talking to here. Everybody looks the same. This dude is true. Yo, Matthias, you want to come up and join? All right, man. Yo, go ahead, bro. You want to speak?
Yeah. I was the one asking about the AA program, like saying like, oh, I'm on 5th week and talking about the 6-week sexual compliments. Bro, that shit changed my life, man. Like, for real. Like, I have my log right here and everything. Like, I'm on like day 37, But Dude, I literally had like anxiety even asking like the first drill, like when they asked like for the time or whatever, I had anxiety doing that. And so like now to go from that there to here is like so fucking mind blowing to me. Like I never thought I could even get there, you know?
That's right. I didn't even know they were still had access to those, approach anxiety drills.
Yeah, I mean some of them are like they're like archived or something. Like this guy made a website and but it's I mean the way like in the beginning when like Chris was describing it, he said it was like an 8-week program, but I can only find 7 weeks. So, but he said though that like the point isn't to finish the program. The point is more to like beat your AA. So like if you beat your AA by week 6, like
yeah,
it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna remove these guys, but yeah, man, I'm proud of you, bro. That's awesome. I'm stoked to see once you start really like hitting it and you start. Sexual compliments. Once you start doing those, I think like you're gonna notice a big difference because girls
Yeah.
are light up with you or not.
What's that?
Because once you start giving those out, it's gonna be like more. Either girls are going to start lighting up and giving you really positive feedback, and you're going to probably be urged to stay in set. Because a lot of the approach anxieties you've done since now, it's been like in and out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, so like the thing is like, I mean, so in the program, Chris says like, oh, like we shouldn't be doing real approaches or whatever. But like sometimes like I do actually do real approaches. Like I'm at college right now. It's like technically my second semester. So like I've been going to parties and like talking to girls and shit. Like, I mean, I hate using I agree with you that the term lay count is kind of stupid, but like my like lay count is like 16, and it like went up like from my first semester in college. Like, so I got here in August and it was 4. And so like now it's January and it's 16. So like it's been going up,
That's
but,
really. So you're.
But
20,
I still don't.
How old are you, bro? How old are you, man? 21?
22.
22. Damn, bro. So that's good, man. You're up to 16.
Yeah.
Since doing the program, you've bounced from 4, so you basically. Damn, bro, you doubled it, man.
No, I know. It's like I mean, a lot of my problems were like up here, Like I've been working like on my looks and stuff, like doing skincare, like going to the gym and shit, But like I've had like confidence issues because like I'm not very tall. I'm like 5'7", so like I've had issues with that, But ever since like actually realizing that like it's not that hard to like. I mean, it's hard, but like it's not like that hard to actually like to like, go up to a girl and ask for the time or like say some goofy shit or like start posing or like whatever, Like it's not that hard. Like been life changing. For sure.
I've been around a lot of like shorter guys, and you have it's not like you have a bad looking face. So if you have a good looking face too, and you're like 5'7", this guy's 5'5", like I've seen a lot of short dudes really do well, man. Like they do really well. I don't know because they're battling that their whole life. So they compensate by like going above and beyond with like good verbal game. I don't like, they just have something that what is that syndrome, like small guy syndrome? But 5'7" is not even that bad. I've seen shorter guys like clean up, but they also some of them are blessed with a really good face.
Yeah. I mean, like it's I feel like it is kind of like in a sense like if someone is like not handicapped, like that's not the right word, but like if someone has like a disadvantage, like that person might be incentivized to like go above and beyond because they have that disadvantage. I feel like in a way that kind of applies a little bit, But I did have a question though about so like on the podcast I saw with you and Chris, like when you guys came back, you said that like you were like living alone for like 7 years or like living in isolation for like 7 years, and then you came back, and I was wondering like if you had any like approach anxiety or anything like when you came back, like started approaching again, or like was it like hard or was it literally just like that?
Uh, it wasn't that hard, bro. To be honest with you, man, it just wasn't that hard. I was surprised. I was really pretty surprised. So yeah, no, I think just the game. It was just. I guess it was a little rusty. There was like you're not, not firing on all cylinders. You're not as sharp with certain things, like not as quick. That type of stuff just needed to be refined. But as far as like the approach anxiety part,
Mhm.
not really. Like it just wasn't there. Because
Yeah.
I at that point anyway, I had like been living on the streets and doing all sorts of shit. Like I had probably reduced my overall fear just
Yeah.
living like all those life experiences anyway, regardless of what I was like, going through. You're still like, as you go on and like develop that, I suppose, like inner trust within you, you just, your overall anxiety is down just in general. So, no, man, I didn't have any issues really coming back. I think I was just rusty, like certain things because when you're firing on all cylinders and you're really got good momentum going, like sometimes it takes some outside observer, like objectively watching you, which is great to like break down and see exactly like what you're saying, what you're not saying and shit. So it's like that part when you're on a little bit of a roll and doing it every single day, it's a huge difference, man. It's a huge difference. I guess it would be like a stand-up comedian who's like really on tour or just working his ass off, busting his ass, but he's just going to be firing compared to a guy who hasn't been doing it as much. But yeah, the anxiety part, like dude, I think it's a permanent fix. Once you really overcome that approach anxiety, I honestly think it's a permanent fix, bro. I don't think you ever go back to that initial, that torture of just freezing up when you speak to chicks. I really, with my own two eyes, I could think that goes away. You know what I mean?
It really is torture, though. It's like you're literally like, I remember like so many instances of like when I first got to campus, like I would walk past like just the hottest chick I've ever seen in my life, and then it's like I want to go. In my head I know exactly what I would say, and like I want to say something, but then my chest is like, ugh, and like I can't like actually go up and talk to them, But like obviously the AA program like helped with that, like a lot is helping currently. But it was just so frustrating every time. I was like, man, I just want to go fucking talk to that girl. Like, how fucking hard is it? You know what I mean? And then like after working with this on the AA program, it's been great, like for sure.
Dude, I'm really happy to hear that, man. So tell me a little bit more about your story. Like, what have you?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18, I think. And that was like to like my girlfriend at the time. And like I've had like a history of like simping behavior, just not really feeling confident in myself. Partially due to the height thing, but I also didn't look as good as I do now, like back then, And then so I got broken up with when I was like 18 or something. And then I went through like a really long depression or so, like for about like 6 months, was not taking care of myself, And then I started work. So a couple things happened. Like I started going to the gym, and then I started working because I didn't have any fucking money. So I was like, and I wasn't going to college at the time, like because this is my first semester because I'm 22. But like before that, I was like, oh fuck college, I'm not gonna go, So I started working. I started doing sales. Like I worked selling gym memberships and shit, and that netted me over the course of like a year and a half, like 43 grand. So I saved it all up, and then at that point I was super burnt out. Oh, and I went through 3 different jobs over that period of a year and a half, and then the middle job, like I worked at a Gold's Gym, and I met this girl, and she was way hotter than my previous girlfriend, and then she had BPD. She was kind of crazy, but I was inexperienced, so she was I was like, oh hell yeah, like I'm all about that. Like I ended up fucking her on the first date or whatever, and then she ended up being like super toxic, so it like ended up fucking me up even worse. So I quit my job like I dated that girl for like, it was like on and off for like between like 5 to 7 months ish, and then I quit my job. And then I was at home. I was living at home, not really doing much. I was getting like way more depressed for like, I want to say like a whole year. And then my friend, he was already at college, right? Like at the college I'm at, but he was living in an apartment. And he was like, yo, like, you know, because he was living with his sister. He was like, yo, my sister's actually moving out. If you want to come move in with me, like, let's do it, you know? And at that point, like I had slept with 4 girls. I skipped over the other 2, but like it wasn't that important. It wasn't that eventful, you know. But I was just not confident.
Were they off the internet, or how'd you bang the other 2?
The third one was this girl that was a personal. She was a client of a personal trainer at the third gym that I worked at. She approached me, but she wasn't very good looking, you know. So like I feel like that's usually how it is. Is like the girls that approach me, like you know, they're like not very good looking. Like the girls that I actually want, like I have to go up and like, you know, go talk to them. But yeah, she was a stripper, you know, which was pretty funny at the time, like, you know, because I was like, I was 20 at the time, like I was like, you know, I mean I still am young, but like I was like a young kid, like I didn't know shit. And then
like I said here, bro, young villain, man, he says you got tons of potential. It's true, bro. Like 22 and you're at where you're at. You're way ahead of where I was, bro. Way ahead of, you know. So 16, I know, like, you know, body count has its place, especially at the beginning. I think it's important, but I think at some point, once you develop the skill and you get to a certain level, it's just like, you know, who the fuck are you reporting to at this point?
That's what yeah. It's so dumb, dude. It's like, wow, like I fucked 200 girls. It's like, bro, like how many of those girls were actually hot? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who fucked what?
Honestly, is to see his game, watch his game. If he's got infields or, you know, asked to, you know, watch him demo, you know, then you could tell what he kind of where he's at. You can't fake that. You know what I mean? When push comes to shove, you can see how a guy performs, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
Like, bro, they're only, like, I'll give you an example. Like, you know how many I'm a football fanatic. You know how many running backs so that I would take over like certain guys with just total yardage numbers. You know what I mean? Like some great running backs, but they just had shorter shelf lives. But I think they were the better overall back. They just didn't play as long. You know what I mean? So like Barry Sanders, they say is like the best running back of all time, but he doesn't have, I don't think he's anywhere close to like the overall yardage for running backs. You know what I mean? So, and there's just way more, like you said, way more nuance into it. Like you could just be, we don't know what type of quality that is or whatever. You could just be racking up numbers like, and I think sometimes the whole internet phenomenon has kind of inflated a lot of guys' numbers. You know what I mean? It seems like the quality is a little less there, and it's like not having that all through my 20s, really, the internet thing, it made it where like they're all coming from cold approach, which is, I think, a harder thing to do. You know, you're not copying.
It's so much harder.
Yeah, it's way harder.
It's so much harder. Dude, I don't know if you know Paul Janka, but he was he was fucking insane. Like and I remember him talking about like his like lay count or whatever, and he was like, oh, it's 135. And people were saying like, or at the time that he was reporting, he was like 135. And people were like, oh, that's not even that impressive. But when you think about it, like that guy that's like if that's all from cold approach, that's insane. That's fucking crazy, dude. You had to like go up and like, you know, fucking screen the girl. And then you had to, you know, make plans, or you had to bring her back to your crib if it was like logistically, you know, viable, you know, but that's hard. That's really fucking hard. Like from cold approach alone, I think I've only fucked like 2 or 3 at the most, probably just 2.
Yeah. So for example, you're right. Like 135 for Paul. And then you hear some other modern PUA guy, and he says like 250 or whatever. That doesn't like you said, maybe 50 to 70% of those are internet. You know what I mean? I really think the internet's like, you know, a little bit lower quality. You're not really, you know, handpicking these women and stuff like that. And it feels to me sometimes like it's one notch above an escort. I've had girls come from like the other side of Florida where I'm staying, and they'll just come over. We end up hooking up, and they leave, and I never hook up with like see them again. It's kind of crazy. Like you don't even have to do shit. It's a lot less. Oh man, that doesn't mean it's not really addressing your cold approach skill level at all. So why would you use that as a measuring stick when most guys are racking up big numbers off, the internet anyway,
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, because in my head, I was thinking like, okay, like I'm pretty young and like 16, like the lifetime average for a guy is like 8, like that's pretty good. But like that would be how I would think if it would only be off of body count, right? But like my skill is nowhere near, like someone could have like 4 bodies and be like way better at talking to girls than me. It doesn't matter like how many girls you fuck. Like literally the only thing that like impacts is like maybe like how comfortable you are like in the bedroom. Like it's not really that crazy,
Yeah. Or perhaps even you have such a deep insecurity with it that for some reason you have to keep going, like because you keep like trying to address like an issue or a problem. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a lot of factors. Yeah, you're so right, bro. Like, I mean, yeah, you're at 16, but don't use that as a metric. Use your actual skill level. You know how socially like savvy you are when it comes to dealing with women, or even men, like whoever, like, because it really is under the same umbrella. Like, it wasn't coincidence that the really cool guy in high school who had a lot of cool friends that wanted to be around him. He was also banging most of the girls. That seems to always work that way. Like, it's never this like, it's rarely this shy introverted guy who doesn't have a lot of friends and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
dude, the one poll you did where it's on the channel right now, but it's the one where you talk to the girl with her mom. Like that blew my mind. Like I could never right now, but it's like because I've seen like literally today at the store, like I saw this cute girl, but she was with her mom. So I'm like, I can't go talk to her because she's with her mom, and it's like these little like excuses. Like that's skill to me. I don't give a fuck how many people you fuck. Like if you can do that, that's crazy. That's insane to me.
Dude, that's all like that. This is like a new phenomenon that's been like planted in guys. Like that's like this big thing. I don't ever remember it being a huge factor, like all through PUA. It was like more about watching the guy, seeing what he's capable of doing. Like watch the film or ask for demos. Like see what the guy's capable of doing. You know what I mean? That's it, man. Yeah, like because I'm usually coaching my guys to do more than just. I give them the overall picture about what pickup is. It's like I mentioned earlier, it's under the same umbrella of like just overall social freedom and social skills and everything. So, the better you are at reading people, so reading social cues, reading a room, a lot of that AA stuff is based on like, just doing some out of your comfort zone type of behavior. Like, I would have some of my students walk up to like couples and stuff, like obvious couples, stop them dead in their tracks and being like, you guys are the cutest couple I've seen all day. And then you could just freestyle from there. If they light up, you could be like, oh, I think you guys should have kids very soon and just fuck with them. It always hits, bro. It really always hits and it lights them up. It puts you in good spirits. You just made 2 people's day. They light up. And then all of a sudden you're just walking around differently, man. Because honestly, the old trick of also, if you're feeling good, if you're
perform well,
perform straight up. But like that, any sport really too. Like if you're feeling good, you're gonna perform better, man.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That's like I feel like the other thing too that the AA program kind of showed is like there are like a lot less social rules than you think there are, like in my head, because it's like and what I mean by that is like for example, like I was just talking about like the mom and her daughter thing. It's like, oh, I can't because she's with her mom, but it's like, who the fuck made that rule? It's like you made that rule in your head. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. So it's like there are like less rules. Obviously, like you got to be like socially calibrated, but like like to an extent, it's like, bro, you can go up and talk to anybody that you want. Like if you see like a hot girl, like you go talk to her. Like you're allowed to do that. You know, go do it. You know, it's fucking crazy.
That is, man. And it's funny that we have to even think about that, but it's just the way society is set up right now that like it's so out of the ordinary, and there's so much peer pressure to not do it, to stay in your lane and not bother with people. Don't get in their way. Don't do this. It's a shame it's like that. You know, I heard it's a little less in some other countries where it's a little bit more, you know, you might be at a farmer's market, and there's a lot of people social, like interacting and having fun with each other. I mean, growing up on my block, we used to have block parties like every year. I used to look forward to it like crazy, man. I'm sure there was a time in this world where we as people, like maybe some, they even say like poorer societies, they kind of like have better relationships with each other, you know? So they're just more socially savvy overall.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like TikTok and like honestly the pandemic had like a lot to do, especially my generation, because like kids that are, well, not kids, but like, you know, girls that are 18, 19 now, like on the pandemic, they were like what, like, you know, in a very formative stage. So it's like, you know, if you go around teaching people that it's like, okay, you guys have to stay 6 feet away from each other, you got to wear masks, you can't look at people, like all this other shit, and then also like be on your phone all fucking day, like be on TikTok all day, like it's like that trains someone to like not want to talk to anybody. It's like I have everything I need on my phone inside. It's like, what kind of fucking life is that? That's fucked. You know,
that's part of it. I think, see, a lot of people want to discuss like the worldly issues and stuff, and that's where it boils. These people at the top, if there is a conspiracy or if there is all this propaganda and shit, they're very smart. You know what I mean? Like that's a good way to get people separated and in conflict with each other, bro. To just be like looking at someone outside of you as like that person's an alien and a stranger. You know what I mean? Like the closer you feel. That's why people take psychedelics to unify, you know, have a unifying experience where you feel like you're, I mean, I've only not big on them or suggesting them here, but like I've tried shrooms and I felt like my body like dissolved and I became the other person. It was a wild experience. It was a wild trip, but yeah, man. Yeah. But that's a pretty clever way to keep people from continuing, you know, hating each other, conflict, like, isolated. Like, yeah, man, that's sad that we're calling people now tablet babies when they come into this.
Yeah, iPad babies, dude. That shit is fucked, man. That shit is so fucked. Yeah. Are you a big conspiracy head? Like, are you into conspiracies, or are you just kind of like, you know, have a conspiratorial mind a little bit?
Oh, it's a good question, man. I mean, I'm definitely open to listening to some of this stuff. Sure, yeah. I some of this stuff is worth listening to, man. Like, some people obviously go overboard with it, I think, but yeah, I find it like pretty enjoyable to listen to. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, you look.
Wait,
man. Like,
oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, like you look super familiar. I don't know if I've seen you before. Have you been on like Alex's speed dating or something? Nothing.
No. You know what's so insane? You know what's so insane though, Scotty? Literally every fucking, I swear, like 12 different girls have said, "You look so familiar." And I'm like, I've never seen you in my fucking life, dude. I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, what? I must just have like a copy paste face. Like, you could just put that shit on the billboard or something.
I don't know. I could have swore that like I seen a dude on that speed dating thing. Looks similar to you, but my bad.
No. I have. This is like literally my first like interaction with, like, I've never been on a YouTube live stream like in my life. Like, this is my first YouTube live stream. You know?
Hell yeah, bro. I'm glad to have you aboard, man. And so pretty much you're a diehard. Well, not diehard, but you're an old school like GLL guy. I don't know how you came across, because it's harder and harder to come across that content to begin with. You know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting because like literally, okay, so like back in the day, like when I was in high school. Like, I came across Chris's Bathmate article, and I was like, yo, like, this shit is tight. Like, you know, I didn't get it, you know, but I was like, you know, that's crazy. You can make your dick bigger, you know? And so, like, I think, like, I don't remember how I, like, got back on the website, like, but I think I just said, oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, I didn't finish my story. So, like, So after the third girl, the stripper girl, the fourth girl that I had sex with was from Tinder. So like that wasn't, it was uneventful, you know. And then
So you're a smart guy. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like you're racking up some of these numbers at 22, and even you know deep down inside that your social skills and your game hasn't gotten that much better, but yet you're racking up way above average for someone your age. So
right.
you know, it's just silly because sometimes I feel like we have to keep hammering this point home as if like the metrics garbage, bro. Like it's just it's not the end all be all. You know what I mean?
It's really not. It's really not at all. Like it's like yeah, it's all skill. It's all skill at the end of the day. It really is. But anyways, like I was saying, so the that was uneventful. Then I was at home. I was depressed. My parents are they have like a hoarding disorder kind of thing going on, and it's so like for the next like 9 to 10 months at that point, I was focused on cleaning out the house, and that created a lot of tension in my family and all this other shit. So I was like, and then so when my boy invited me to his apartment, I'm like, fuck yeah, like I need to get out of here. You know, I need to get the fuck out of here right now. So I left, right? And then, so what happened is I got to college, right? And I immediately started like socializing, but I still had like AA, you know? So it's like, it was hard, like at first. But like, I was like, man, first week of college, I got to make sure that I make connections like right now, because otherwise it's not coming back, you know? So went up to a bunch of people, got a bunch of Instagrams, you know, was working on my social media, all this other shit. And then I had a friend who we went to middle school together, and he was in a fraternity at this college, right? And so he kind of like half invited me, like, you know, so I like to some of the frat parties or whatever. I went to a bunch of these frat parties. I was feeling like the man at the time, because like compared to 10 months ago, it's like I was at home, not doing shit. I mean, cleaning out my parents' house, but like in terms of socializing, like, you know, so I was feeling like the man. And then I was like, okay, I'm probably going to join this frat. I'll get so much pussy, like, da, 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 da. I hadn't thought about AA at all at this point, right? And then what happened is my grandma died, right? And so I had to, so I don't know if you know how, like, Greek life works or whatever, but, like, basically the initial period, like, where they scout new recruits or whatever, is called, like, Rush. And so, like, Rush Week is, like, they have, like, events throughout the week that, like, you show up to. And like you kind of like pitch yourself to the fraternity or whatever. So like I made it to like 2 or 3 of those events, right? And then I had to go to my grandma's funeral, right? And so I told the guys, I was like, yo, like I can't make it to the other Rush events. My grandma just died. I have to fly out the country, yada, yada, right? And they were like, yeah, like that's cool. Like it's all good, you know? So I was like, all right, bet. And I know this guy from middle school, so I'm assuming nothing bad's going to happen, whatever, right? So So I get back, right? And then my friend texts me. He's like, yo, like it's actually really detrimental that you missed Rush events. I'm like, bitch, I told you I had to leave for my grandma's funeral. Didn't get accepted into the frat. And I was like devastated, dude. I was devastated because I felt like I got betrayed. I was like, man, like and the reason that I felt, this is how I got onto the AA program. Okay, I remember. So there's an article on GLL about like college and like hierarchies and dynamics and shit, and like how like frat guys at the college like get like most of the pussy or whatever, and then like if you're not in a frat, like you can't get all the pussy or whatever. And so I was like, fuck, you know, like I was super upset, you know, especially because like that was like the top frat at this school. So I was like super distraught. I was at rock bottom at this point. It didn't feel like it, but I was like, man, like. And this may sound ridiculous, but I was like, man, like I'm 22. I've only had like 4 bodies, and like, you know, all these other people have like way better social lives than me. And like, you know, like fuck this, I'm gonna make a change. And so I went to I found the AA program, and then that's when I started. It was on September 29. I want to say September 24th. I started, and I was like, you know what, like honestly, like this is kind of it. Like this is my last shot, you know? So I gotta give it all I got. And so I've been doing that since September 24th of this year, you know?
Good story. Yeah, you need your what is it? Your redemption story.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Dude, I mean, I don't know. I think you have a good head on your shoulders. You're in the right frame of mind, and you're in. You know, you didn't get into the frat, but you're at least you're on another path. So the whole
Yeah, I mean, I'm rushing a different frat this semester, so like maybe that would work. But I didn't even know they existed last semester, so I was like, fuck, I'm fucked, you know. But I'm still glad I started the program, of course. Like it changed my fucking life, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not just sorry to cut you off, but like it's not just the like approach anxiety that has improved in my life. It's like everything in terms of my social skills. Like I didn't look people in the eyes before I started this program. Like I couldn't like stand and like talk to them. Like coming on this live stream probably would have gave me too much anxiety like 3 months ago. You know, like it seriously fucking rewired my mind. That shit is fucking like I don't know how much. I'm assuming you wrote like a lot of it, right? Like because it's you and Chris, right?
Honestly, I think honestly Chris did a lot of the writing. He part of it. You know, I was just way too like active and stuff. But like being like out working for my dad and living and breathing and dying, fucking pick up. But I do think me and Chris we spoke a lot on the phone. We would have these long conversations, and yeah, I think a lot of the stuff, a lot of the concepts that he ended up writing, he had more time to focus on the website. You know, were siphoned, I guess, from from me and stuff like that. But yeah, he did a lot of the writing. I'll give him the credit for that for sure.
Yeah.
There's, great material up there for sure because he at the time he had I think the best guy to speaking to and getting information from, and I don't know. I think it was because sometimes back then I couldn't even, and I'm still not great at it, but I've gotten way better at being able to articulate, what's going on and what you're doing and this and that. Like you have to somehow embrace even the pickup lingo and terminology, even though I think sometimes it's goofy and silly, but in order to reach like a whole audience of people that you kind of have to adapt a little bit, know when to use it, when not to use it. If it's a guy who has no idea about the community or any terminology, you obviously then could speak more like a normal human being. But yeah, that's cool,
Dude,
man.
the pickup.
Located, by the way,
Virginia.
Virginia. I don't know too much
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that place for game or a good place to learn, but it's probably decent. I would think it's got a decent downtown and it's got some decent malls, right? I mean, you're close to
It's like so the thing about Virginia is like I'm close to DC, right? So like DC is pretty good. Like DC is like I don't know necessarily about high volume, but like the quality of women is like they're usually a lot hotter like in DC. But like it depends. It really depends. Like, but yeah, like it's not bad. It's not the middle of buttfuck nowhere, but like it's not like I would rather be like in like Miami or LA. Like Chris talks about LA in the blog like all the time, and I'm like shit, like or New York. I mean, my fucking parents are from New York, so like I could, well, my mom, but
no wonder why I like you, man.
yeah, dude. Yeah, my mom's from Queens, so
that's where my mom's from, man.
no shit.
Swear to God, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, Jamaica, bro. Jamaica, New York.
Oh, nice, man. She's from Hollis, Queens.
That's dope.
It's. I'm telling you, man. That New York connection, it runs deep. It runs deep. So, but you didn't like spend much time there, or you have spent a decent amount of time.
I've been to New York, but I haven't like done game there or anything. Like, definitely not. But I've seen the videos of what's his name? You and Iron Will, Ravi.
Yeah, you got to put. By the way, you have to put that on like your fucking bucket list to go there and spend like a weekend, just run up the numbers and just to get on the streets, bro. It's hella work. I think it's the mecca for pickup, bro. I really do. I think it's the mecca for pickup.
Now, what about compared to Miami or LA?
Nah, I'd put New York above it. Honestly, man, I really do.
Are you biased, or are you really think that?
No, I genuinely. If I was starting from scratch, I would put New York above above both of them. Yeah, honestly, man. I mean, I
Yeah.
love New York with all my heart and soul and everything, but I think had I gone back to the beginning stages, I would absolutely pick New York. There's just so much volume there, bro. Like the volume,
Yeah.
amazing, and it's what am I about? It's densely populated in such a tight area, so there's like, people naturally are a little bit more socially outgoing. They're down for more things. They go down like
Yeah.
it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Like Young Villain right here says, like the anonymity of it is huge.
Yeah.
That I
It's
love that. I love that, bro. Like it's very. I'm gonna say this again. Like it's very difficult to be racist there, compared to other places in which I've noticed. I've lived in a lot of different cities now, so I could see the difference.
Mhm.
Like some of the stuff I see in some of the in Florida, like fucking blow my mind when it comes to like racial tension, division, and the mindsets. It's like I feel like I'm back in the 70s sometimes or 80s or whatever. It's crazy because I wasn't exposed to that. I was in a, little did I know, a very special place when it comes to just non-segregation, just very open, just doesn't matter, like very accepting, very warm, welcome place. Like it never crossed my brain really, like hooking up with black chicks, hooking up with Spanish chicks. Like it just never was an issue. It never was. I never,
Yeah.
and we're very good at picking up whether or not like there's tension or like somebody's eyeballing us or, an out of pocket comment, or like never dealt with any of that. And I've dated black women for like years. And I'm telling you, like nothing in Manhattan. And I would take her to public places. I never felt out of place once, bro. I'm telling you, in Florida, it's like it's a different animal, certain parts. Obviously, Miami's going to be less, but, oh, okay. So my bad. Whoever was trying to come up, I'll let you up, man. Come on up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've been taking too much time.
Okay. I mean, there's not a big list here of guys trying to hop on, and why
No,
not?
I was gonna say I agree with you though on the type thing. Like I really don't prefer white women, and I feel like it's because I grew up around like my mom's I'm half Hispanic, my mom's Latina, so like I really don't prefer white women like that, and everybody's always like, oh, black women, what? And I'm like, bro, what are you? Okay, more for me, fuck you, like get the fuck out of here. No, I did want to say though, like one thing that I did that really resonated. Oh, go ahead.
Hold that thought. My comment on that is that like these guys have not. They again, it's based on exposure, right? So if you have had a lot of exposure with like super hot Caribbean women, well, you're gonna just see what you see and see shit on the internet and social media and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, they're being, I think, like depicted in such a negative light, like these ratchet, fucking loudmouth, hood rat, like ghetto video vixen bitches, bro. Like go to like Trinidad or go to like one of these places. You'll be like, they're classy, like well spoken, very quiet, like those are the chicks that I'm talking about. Like even if you go down to Brooklyn, certain parts, it's the highest concentration of like I think Trinidadian women and Caribbean women and stuff like that. So yeah, they're awesome. They're amazing, dude. They're some of the best girls I've ever had for sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
conspiracy theory on that. If you talk about like how they're promoted like online and shit, like there's a video, right? This dude, and this is like a whole rabbit hole, but this dude, he's a record executive. His name is Liar Cohen, right? He's like a Jewish record executive, right? And he's on Charlemagne. You know Charlemagne, See the God, right?
Right.
Like he's on Charlemagne's podcast, right? And they were doing an interview. And he literally said like to the, like, I'm paraphrasing obviously, but he said something to the effect of like, yeah, we like hire like the most like destructive and like self-destructive, like ghetto, like ratchet, like artists possible to promote that shit to the youth. And it's like, like on purpose, you know? And then there are all these issues like within the black community where people are like, man, why is like every video of us like looking all goofy like this? Like what the fuck is up with that? And it's because of record executives, in my opinion, like that, because they and I mean that's been going on for like decades, like forever. But it's just interesting to have that like on video, like whoa, like that's crazy.
So they're not, but this is the stuff they're doing this purpose. Like it's on purpose. So like, yeah, most guys who don't, especially guys who don't live in New York, their perception of black women is not really that good. It's like, oh, they're all fat, ghetto, overweight, loudmouth, obnoxious. Like, I think that's ridiculous. So yeah, more for us, bro, because there's a lot of
yeah.
Some of the best, some of the baddest, some of the hottest, like Trinidadian. Like, well, go to Barbados and let me know. Let me know. You know what I mean? But whatever.
Yeah. One of the I guess one of the big things though that I did want to bring up is before I started doing the AA program, I was watching, and this just resonated with me so much, especially in Chris's articles. Like, I was watching so much PUA content and you know, how to do this and like how to look her in the eyes and all this other shit, right? And it's like there's this dude online. His name is like John Zerka. He's like a pickup dude, like in the Sphere or whatever. And like he does like these like breakdowns. He like broke down like one of John Anthony's sets or whatever. And like he was like watching content like that just gives you so much analysis paralysis. Like it makes your anxiety so much worse. Like because you're because you think it's all like if a girl rejects you or whatever, like you think it's like your fault, you know. But then you learn about like numbers game and you're like, man, like there's no way I can win them all. Like there's no way it could all be my fault, you know. Oh, you just had to do the right technique. Oh, you just had to do this. You had to do that. And like, granted, like yeah, maybe a little bit, but like there's no way the onus could be 100% on me to make it so that I get every single girl's number. Like there's no fucking way. But like I was so inexperienced, I was just like beating myself up over nothing, like over watching all these fucking technique videos and all this shit. Like,
yeah, it's the furthest thing from it, man. Like, the more you go out, the more you socialize, the more you put yourself in these warm spaces with women. It's like the better you're going to get, man. Like, honestly, there's no substitute for it. You can watch all the infield videos and why are you doing like you're honestly setting yourself back. Honestly, like the more time you spend on the internet or being a theory junkie as opposed to like out there in the field, you're just setting yourself back, man. I think Brad P. actually, when I want to speak about Brad P., my coach, I guess at the time, he had like a rule, like a fucking 90-20 rule or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was based like you can only spend for every hour you spend doing any theory, any internet stuff, reading, like you have to put 2 hours in the field.
Yeah. So, that's so real. That's so real.
Yeah. Any other questions or anything, man? Or it seems like we got.
I probably will. I mean, like, are you gonna do like a streaming schedule or anything? Because like I saw this one in the live feed. I was like, I gotta get in there, bro. Like, you know. But
oh, wait a second. You sort in the community tab or just sort randomly?
I'm subscribed, so like I saw it in my subscription.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I was like, I gotta, because I remember I did type in the chat last time, and you were like, "What's up, Jackson?" And I was like, "Oh, all right." But then you're like, "I gotta go," and I was like, "Ah, fuck."
Sure, I'm down to do more streams for sure. I'm gonna try to make it like definitely maybe once a week. That would be ideal, man. Honestly, it would be good. Yeah, yo, Young Villain, why don't you hop up? I invite you every single time we do these. And
what are your? I was gonna ask too, like, what are your plans for like growing the channel, or do you even care about that? Like,
growing the channel. What are my plans?
Or like branding, or like Instagram, or I don't even know, like, you know.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna get more active. I mean, and if I have the resources to like, because it all costs money, like all these like editing and all this stuff. And it's a lot. It's time consuming. So I think this is a good way. I think this is a good way to connect with people. I think my first live stream, I ended up getting like 2 clients and stuff. So it worked out well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Instagram definitely, if you're not maximizing that, like I feel like Reels definitely is like good. a good avenue for sure. Because like especially with the interview content, like I saw that on Shorts, and I was like, oh, you could definitely just like double post that on Reels, and then like, run that up.
Not a bad question. That's not a bad idea, man. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. What's your question, bro? If you want to come up, you can come up. What do you got?
Do you know Derek, More Plates, More Dates? He's like a business partner of Chris.
I don't know him personally, but yeah, of course, I heard of More Plates, More Dates.
Because he was talking about and this was, so he did an interview with Chris in like 2018, like a podcast, and he was saying like there was like this like camera or whatever that had like a glasses camera, but it was like shitty from China, but like that was back in 2018. So like now in 2024, like would you ever do like a POV like game like set ever?
Yeah, man. I'll definitely consider buying those. Those things aren't cheap, man. Those glasses.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not even necessarily the glasses, but like there are some dudes on Reels I see where it's like they walk around with like the hat and they have a camera, or they have like a little micro camera like right here, and then they'll just do their set and then they post the footage or whatever. And like sometimes I'll just be scrolling through Reels and then just randomly like it'll be some guy like a POV game or whatever.
Some other guy also said that I should implement TikTok more. I'm not on any of this shit, man. I have actually a very small social media presence right now, so I'm probably missing the boat as far as like if I want to get more business. I definitely want to get more business for sure. I wish I didn't have to do like all this work.
Yeah.
It blows me away that like Brad P stayed so anonymous all throughout his pickup career, but before, you could get away with like just blogs and all this stuff, and without having to be like on all these platforms. But now I almost essential that you have something like a YouTube channel or just something at the very least.
Was Brad P part of RSD, or is that someone else that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, that's someone else. Brad P was like his own dude, his own guy. Yeah, he learned like supposedly from some naturals and started up his company was like the Underground Dating Seminar. And that's actually how I ended up meeting Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Chris talking about that in one of his blogs.
He was a cool dude, man, because he had both ends of it. He didn't just come from the pickup world, though. He definitely studied up on a lot of the pickup stuff. He was well educated. He was a smart dude, but he tapped into both. He was running like not boot camps, but like seminars on top of some pizzeria in New York, and he was getting a lot of just regular, normal people that were attending. And then he started noticing that like a whole bunch of like PUA guys were starting to show up, and like they had all these. He had to relearn the he had to learn all the terminology and everything. He was like, he knew that, and they were worse. Those guys were worse than the guys who had no affiliation, no knowledge of the PUA world. You know what I mean? So that goes to show you, like they could sit there and explain everything, the ins of why this, why that, but then push them into a set. They're awful. It just goes to show you there's a huge gap between what you know and then what you're actually implementing. You know what I mean?
It's the analysis paralysis, man. 100%. It's like people literally just get stuck up here and then they don't actually like put that into use.
I think it's a negative, man. I really do. I think it starts working against you. I think so, because you're not learning from the direct source, which is you. Why not go out? You have all the information right here. Go find out. Put it trial and error. You like put it to the test. You know what I mean? Like, why do you want to be some fucking secondhand knowledge guy? You're hearing from somebody else. Like,
yeah,
test everything. Like, fucking test everything. Every coach says, everything they say. Like, put it into practice.
Yeah, that's why I respect y'all so much, because like y'all were pioneers of this shit, man. Like y'all didn't have Good Looking Loser to go read and then go fucking implement into the fucking field. It's like y'all had to actually go and trial and error this shit. I mean, to a greater extent, like, and then like inventing all this fucking terminology and shit. sexually available and sexually unavailable. I'm sure there are a bunch of others that I can't even like think of right now, but like there's some shit that like came from y'all. It's like it's crazy.
I love the Killer Instinct thing. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. That's a really good one.
I love Killer Instinct, but even though now we're everything is so PC that they're trying to like that would probably not go over well. Like have Killer Instinct on your target over there.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely like I definitely want to keep working and developing that because like that is like what was preventing me from talking to girls that like I saw because I would see them like I would literally take out my phone and then like time like how long it took them to walk past. You have like 5 seconds at most, 2 to 3, like usually, and it's like you got to decide in 2 to 3 seconds like you want to go talk to this fucking girl or do you not want to talk to this girl? It's that simple.
I think you're doing a good job even now, man. I give you a lot of credit. Like you're able to hop on streams and talk. So I think the AA program's definitely working well for you. Keep doing it, man. Keep grinding.
Yeah, the biggest turning point was the first night day. Like the I think it was day 21 when like you have to go in and you have to squeeze 10 girls in the arm. That was like mind blowing for me because like my whole life. I was like, man, like I never fit in at the clubs. Like I never fit in at bars. Like, this shit is like so alien to me. Like I can't even fucking, and then when I came home after doing the drill, like I was like so like elated. I was like ecstatic, dude. Like the hardest days for me were definitely 17, which was ABCs, 21, which was the going out at night, 27, which was like flexing on girls. That was hard. 26 was the Arnold one where you're like doing kindergarten cop on them. That one was hard for sure. But then after I got through week 4, like I was like, this is a turning point for sure.
It's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, I don't even remember all these. I never went through them. I give Chris all the credit for putting that one together. I mean, some of them I suppose at the time we talked about, but that's crazy, man. So let me answer this guy's question was I want to get some threesomes. Do you be going for those? Not really, man. Honestly, not really.
Does it mean actual threesomes or PUA threesomes? Like y'all?
Yeah. Yo, honestly, like I think it would probably be easier to pull off if you had a girl that you were like seeing on a regular basis and opening sets with, bringing her out with you and pulling them in. I think that's how guys rack up lots and lots of threesomes. If they end up, seeing a girl who's just totally down for shit like that, becomes a lot easier, man. From what I heard, I haven't done too many threesomes, man.
Trying to think if I have any more questions, like, cause I'm like, damn, I gotta get them all out,
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man, I'll be back around. You could always email me or something, but I guess I'm gonna wrap up soon.
Oh wait, I did have one more question though. About the tattoos. Like, do you feel like it changed like your results at all? Like when you got tattoos and like, cause I want to get a sleeve, but like I'm not sure if it'll and. Like I want it for me, but I also like know that like so like I went out on Halloween like because like at college when it's fucking Halloween it's fucking crazy and I did like a fake sleeve and like so many girls thought it was real. They were like, I love your tattoo, da, 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 and I was like damn, like I should probably get a sleeve. Like did that impact your results at all or like?
I mean, I have nothing that can really compare it to be honest with you, bro. That's how crazy it is. Like I started at years old. My game career started. So I really have not. It'd be interesting if that's why I've contemplated whether or not I should get my face tattoo removed. So I have something to compare it off if I get like a bunch of different looks and it would open up a whole new pool.
You could do like makeup or something like for a day and then try it.
Oh, yo, that's a good idea, man. That's a good idea. Yo, what up, Kevin? How you doing, bro?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Yo, you got mad fans, bro. You got a lot of fans, bro.
You said I got fans?
Yeah, people be asking about you. They want you fucking the whole chat. They're like, bring Kevin
Nah,
up.
I just hopped on. I'm finna get on the plane. The plane leaves in like 45 minutes. But I wanted to ask you because I didn't have that many questions. I was just bored at the airport, and I seen that you was live, so I'm like, I might just hop on and just ask him because it's been on my mind. It's been on my mind for a long time. Like I've been wanting to get like girls because I've been trying to be monogamous and it ain't been working out. So I'm like, fuck it. Maybe I should just try to get a bisexual girl because I feel like I've been dealing with a lot of jealousy. You know what I mean? I don't know if you deal with jealousy a lot, but I've been dealing with a lot of jealousy. So I'm like, maybe I should just get a girl who don't care if I get with other girls. You feel me? So that's why I wanted to ask you, like.
All right, let me ask you: you're currently dating a chick, or you just got out?
Yeah, so I was talking with this girl. I mean, basically, it's been the same kind of cycle. So the cycle goes like this: I meet a girl, let's say I hook up with her, she's cool, I like her, we start dating more and more, and then the closer I get with her, the less she wants me to deal with other girls. Like girls, they know when they talk to you, they sort of know you got other stuff going on with girls. But I think they expect that like when you get more serious with them, then like that's like the time for you to kind of let them other girls go. Feel me? So I'm like, that's where it becomes like an issue, like with jealousy and like possessiveness. Like we're all guilty of it to a certain degree, but
Yeah.
I'm working with that, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, listen, like, it's always got to be reciprocated. Like the energy's got to be matched. So like, if you want that same treatment done to you, you know what I mean? Like, you should be a little bit more down to give her what she's doing, what she's giving you. Even though there a lot of red pillars and people would say that's crazy. It's got to be, you know,
Right.
You run the show. Like, well, you know, I don't really see it that way, man. I think if a girl's like super loyal and doing all the right things and treating you like gold, like a part of you is gonna want to do less of that stuff.
But Alex got a bisexual girlfriend, and they get threesomes. Apparently, she don't care if they hook up with other girls.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not gonna speak on that dude's relationship. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if he's actively still doing that or whatever. But
He's actively still doing it. He says he doesn't do it as much,
yeah,
but he said that he still gets with other girls from time to time. So like,
yeah,
and on top of that, he said that they be getting with other girls together. That's what he said. I've seen plenty of people that say they're in situations like that, but I don't know. It's hard for one person to give you everything that you really want. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just I've been dealing with it a lot, so I'm just trying to try something different. I'm like, let me just try to get a bisexual girlfriend and just, you know.
yeah. And then, yo, on paper it sounds good, but like a lot of the same issues too, man. Girl, that's like a human thing where people like end up getting jealous and shit like that. And you know, like, bro, who's that other famous internet guy who had a bisexual girlfriend?
John Anthony?
Destiny, right?
Who?
Destiny. He had a girlfriend, and it ended up being like she left him for some other dude, and it was like a big thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, we could say whatever about like, yo, just because this girl seems like a freak on paper and she'd be down, but eventually, if she starts catching feelings, sooner or later,
and you can catch it. You can catch it, and then you can give it to a girl. That's like the only problem I see with it. You know. You could catch
Yo,
it.
my bad to interrupt. I gotta hop off.
Yo, thanks for joining, bro. Yo, hop on.
Yeah, I'll be back, and I'll report back about the progress.
All right, Jackson. Yo, peace, man.
Be
Later,
safe,
man.
y'all.
Thanks.
Yeah. So that's been like an issue, but I don't know. That's why I was asking you. Like, have you been in situations where you just had a girl that wanted to slide, and then you had another girl, and it's just like, well, I just tell them both to just come over at the same time, or you just tell a girl, hey, do you like girls too? You know
Dude,
what I mean?
I was super close.
Like, yeah, I'm cool with it.
I was super close, honestly. Like less than about a month ago, I would say. Like these two girls that. So I was at this place called Total Wine. It's like a big liquor store or whatever, and I begged both girls working there. They didn't know though at the time. It was funny. So
Yeah.
I was set up. Like they did this to try to like. They ultimately found out, and they called me up, and then they're like, "Oh, do you mind if my friend comes?" They mind if my friend comes? I'm like, "Yeah, bring your friend, whatever." So the friend, they pull her up
Yeah.
on the stream while we're doing FaceTime. It's the other coworker. You know what I mean? So they're like, "Yo, so do you want to do this?" And then I played it so cool. I wasn't like shocked or like
Yeah.
defensive or defending myself. I'm like, "Yeah, well, both you guys are really sexy." I'm like, "What do you expect?" You know, I'm like, "I want to see
Attention, ladies and gentlemen.
which one I like better." You know what I mean? I'm like,
Did
well,
you-
I went to their apartment to try to pull it off because they were playing as if they were down. So
William Carl Walker.
once I got
Yeah.
there,
We are done moving
push came to
about to
shove,
close
but
the aircraft door. Please make your way.
I would be down, bro.
Please make your way.
Yo, is that? Yeah, I think that's him. I'm gonna take him off here. Taking him off. That shit is so loud. He's in an airport. My bad, Kevin. Yo, that wherever you are, let me see. Kevin, all right.
Connection in this airport is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it was super loud, man. It sounds like little babies crying in the background.
My bad. My bad. It's decent now. It's decent now.
God, I think when
But so when I asked you earlier, you had said no. That you think that's because you just don't like try for it. I have a feeling that like if I just try, I could. You'd be surprised what you can if you just ask, right?
No, I mean I do think it helps tremendously when your sole focus is like to kind of execute and master some aspect of the game. I know that first from when I was so fascinated with trying to get like very, very quick pulls and fast pulls. Literally for like almost a year, I just implemented what I had learned and heard from the fair kid about the 5-minute pulls and the 10-minute pulls with, you want to come watch me jerk off stuff. Like I just did it all the time to the point where it was being, it was out of the ordinary. So it needed to be mastered. You need to put it in its own lane to maximize it. You know what I mean? To get optimal results. So I think if I had this obsession with threesomes and wanted to pull it off, I would go crazy. I would go OCD and just try to focus and basically only, or I think it's down trying to mix it in. I think I think there probably are certain guys out there who can really, they know exactly, they just have mastered it. They can get it where it's pretty consistent.
I thought about just hopping on the live and just talking to a bunch of girls in this airport because I was looking at the video and I was just like, we're talking about it. I'm about to just hop on the live and just start walking up to girls right now and talk to them. But I ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna ask the question that I wanted to ask.
Yeah, man. Yo, it was good seeing you, though, man. I think I'm gonna hop off. I'm getting kind of tired here, but
yeah.
With Pheromone Kids approach,
all right, man. Yeah, it's good seeing you too, bro.
Yeah, it's good seeing you, man.
You said what?
No, this guy's question with the Pheromone Kids approach work. Where's an adult film star work in the age of? That's a good question. That's actually a good question, man. Probably, or he may want to adjust that to like, what is something that is like taken over the adult film store? I don't know. There's something out there like a brothel. Good question, though, man. It'll probably be less effective, but it's not so much what you say; it's how you're delivering it and everything like that. So it would probably work.
I think I'm about to walk up to this girl right here and talk to her. I think she's on the same flight as me.
Don't wait to end it.
Huh? It's the best way to end it.
Don't wait to end it.
She Hispanic. I'm about to talk to her. Hey, excuse me. What's up? You beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you want to fly to Chicago?
Yeah, I'm actually on the phone with her.
Is that a man?
Yeah.
Like shit. All right. I tried to say what's up. And she said she was on the phone with her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. I fucking infield.
Huh? Yeah, I had to say something. She was kind of fine. She's like a Latina chick. I should have peeped out something better, but hey, it's like a couple of shorties on this little flight or whatever. So I'm like, fuck, let me just.
What are you up to?
Somebody on the flight.
What do you do?
I was in Houston. So basically, when I texted you in the email about like 2 weeks ago, I told you that like I had a different job that had me like moving around and stuff like that. And so they had us in Houston this week for like 7 days, and so now I'm just on my way back to Chicago.
Word, man. Nice.
So
How'd everything go?
Houston got,
Good?
yeah, Houston got a lot of shorties too, though. You said what?
No. How'd it go? Did everything go as planned? Did you have a good time?
The weather was shitty as fuck. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the weather is shitty everywhere, but even in Houston, it was cold. Like it was cold. It wasn't really that good up until Saturday. So, and I didn't have my car out there, so I couldn't really hit the city like how I wanted to because they had us staying way out in the burbs, and it wasn't really good, to be honest. I would have been better off staying in Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. I'm probably gonna move down here to Texas, to be honest.
What, for work? Why would you go to the worst place?
Because basically the way that my job works, it's like seasonal. So like you know how the NBA season have like the the 4 months or whatever. It's like the winter time, and then you have the off season.
Right.
My job is kind of like that, so it's not a full-time job. So they just have us working during the summer, and then during the winter we do what we want to do. But I'm like, well, if it's going to be the winter time, I'd rather in Texas where it's going to be warm than be in Chicago where it's going to be cold. Because the best time to be in Chicago is the summer. I'm sure it's maybe the same way in New York, but like Chicago, summertime is the best time. So yeah,
Sort of. I feel
that's pretty
like
much what it is. I
feel like New York people have
yeah, go ahead.
they've adjusted quite well, man. I feel like it never really held back my game too much during the cold months. People bundle up and they get their fucking asses outside. They but yeah, it slows down a little bit, but not as much as what people would think. But let's guy says, what type of things would you say to elicit car pulls? I never
Please talk to a CBP officer today about completing your global entry.
It's like going in and out.
bring up the car thing. Like
I
just
think I can
go about your normal business to escalate a situation with the girl, and then be like, come on, let's go. You know that you have it in the bag, and you're going to bring her to the car. And then once you get there, you just make as comfortable and nonchalant about it as possible. You know what I mean? If she says, where are we going? Just like, we're going to my car. Let's go in my car. At that point, she should be already revved up. She should be, her temperature should be high, and she should be pretty much down. Once you show her that you're cool with it, nonchalant, then you can even start, even if she says, I want to go in the car, blah, blah, blah. You start making out with her again, up a little, open the back. Bro, you just do your normal thing. Honestly, do your normal. It's going to mostly come down to how comfortable you are with it. That's going to lead the way, whether or not the girl decides to get in the back seat with you or not. But you'd be surprised if you're. I would self do it. Start by doing thermal kid thing. You get comfortable out of the box, things like that. Or if you're dating a girl, for example, right now, car. Get comfortable with sexual in your car. All right, man. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. I'm gonna dip, man. Yo, it was good seeing you guys, man. Hit me up, Kevin. We'll talk. All right. Peace.
I bet. Yep, bet. Peace.